but our wealth will not last. Why then do we put our trust in money? Why is this economic crisis making so many people anxious and worried? The only reason we worry about not having money is because our trust is in our money. But it will not last. All these material things we place our trust in will always fail us. They cannot meet the deepest needs of our soul because they too are temporal. They too will be destroyed. They too will rot. They too will disappoint us. And here's where it gets really disturbing. James says that the trust we put in corroded money and material things will testify against us. If we put our trust in the things of this world, they will tell on us, and we will be in very, very big trouble. But it doesn't seem that what James is saying really applies to us, because we don't exploit workers or abuse our money. But consider this, and thanks Rob Bell for all this information. America controls nearly 20% of the world's wealth. There are around 6 billion people in the world, and there are roughly 300 million people in the United States. That makes America less than 5% of the world's population, and this 5% owns a fifth of the world's wealth. 1 billion people in the world do not have access to clean water, while the average American uses 400 to 600 liters of water a day. Every 7 seconds, somewhere in the world, a child under the age of 5 dies of hunger, while Americans throw away 14% of the food we purchase. Nearly 1 billion people in the world live on less than $1 American a day. Another 2.5 billion of the people in the world live on less than $2 American a day. More than half of the world lives on less than $2 a day, while the average American teenager spends nearly $150 a week. 1 in 7 children worldwide, nearly 158 million, go to work every day just to survive. And Americans spend more money on trash bags than nearly half of the world does on all of its goods. James says, you have lived on the earth in luxury and self-indulgence. You have fattened yourselves in the day of slaughter. And I honestly have to agree with him. But this is not said to guilt you into, it is rather said to move you into movement, for that is not, sorry, move you into movement. Oh, that did be right, sorry.
There we go.
Okay.
Go ahead.
James says, you have lived on this earth in luxury and self-indulgence. You have fattened yourselves in the day of slaughter. And I honestly have to agree with him. But this is not said to guilt you into movement, for that is not helpful. But awareness and knowledge are, for this can move us into action. I don't say these things to make you feel bad about yourself, but to say that you might come to an understanding that you are incredibly blessed, and that this blessing asks that you give of it freely to those who are not so fortunate. If we continue to live in self-indulgence and neglect the oppression of the people around us, even on the global scene, which is very available to us in our day, we will suffer the same fate as those in James' day. We too will be like fattened cows led to the slaughter. And so my challenge to you is to give of yourself freely so that someone else may experience life. Do not put your trust in your wealth, for it will always disappoint you. But give of your wealth, your resources, your time, and your energy to instill life within someone else. For everything you have, including this very day, like yesterday and hopefully tomorrow will be, is a gift that is undeserved and needs to be extended. And we have the power and ability in our current day to extend those gifts very, very far. And so my prayer is that you will take up this challenge and impact the life of someone who is in desperate need of what you already possess. And may God's grace sustain you as you learn how to do so.